night they found you dead at your house. And how could this be true? I still needed you. I can't believe that I'll never see you. It must have been so bad I can't begin to even try to explain what you've been through. There's no way out, only a way through. You should have stayed here, I could have saved you. Well, I've been up all night trying to figure this out. I wrote a million different words to let you know how I felt. Nothing really sounds special enough, and they don't have the words to tell how it was when you should have stayed here. I could have saved you. There's no mistake that we couldn't work through. Nobody hates you, they want you saved, dude. You left me all on my own, I can't replace you. There's no way out, only a way through. You should have stayed here, I could have saved you. I've been up all night trying to figure this out. I wrote a million different words to let you know how I felt. You should have stayed here, I could have saved you. I'm sorry, brother. I wish I could have done more. I miss you. I will always love you. You will always hold a space in my heart. This song is for you. Until we meet again. There's no way out, only a way through. You should have stayed here, I could have saved you. I've been up all night trying to figure this out. I wrote a million different words to let you know how I felt. You should have stayed here, I could have saved you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's early, but I've been up for a little bit thinking about some things. So guess what? You're stuck with me. Unfortunately, I don't have the navigator here. Missed him last night as I got back too late from the job up at 10 sleeping. I was too tired to do this last night, so we're here today. Anyway, I had a few things on my mind. Sitting here, been thinking about how much time that I've been wasting on discussing the presidency and all this BS. And it makes me ask the question, why do we need a president? And what kind of person does it take to actually want to run for the presidency? I mean, that's quite an endeavor to want to be like the ultimate leader. And then, once, a year out of every 4 years, okay? So 25% of our time is spent arguing with each other over these presidential candidates, right? And it just goes from stupid to worse to dumb to, audacious to, delusional every time. We fight about it for a year, and then we flip-flop on what we want. And I don't think that we, as people, really know what we want. And so I think that maybe the president is indicative of our tendencies to, always look at, I don't want to use a cliche, but it's always, it's kind of like one of those grass is always greener on the other side of the fence type of deals, And I've always used the analogy when election time comes around that it's like, when you were in high school, right? And you'd have the pep rally for homecoming, and everybody's in the gymnasium, and you're singing the fight song, and blah, blah, blah. The marching band's playing, and everybody's getting all wound up when they decide that they're going to have the little, whoever's running for student body president, student council, and all that. They get up in there and give their speech. And you always have, the person that gets up and says, well, I promise as your student body president that we're going to have better food in the cafeteria. We have pop machines on every corner, every hallway. And, this stupidity, the student body, what weight does the student body president have? About as much weight as the president of the United States. You know what I mean? And we waste all this time on this stuff, and we fight with each other. We become divided. For what? To argue with each other, or who's going to tell us how to live our lives? It doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. Because let's be quite honest. How much influence in your personal lives has the president had? I know a few that have been directly influenced. My good friend, Gapu, definitely influenced in a positive way by President Obama. And a lot of other guys I know. The crazy thing is that President Obama, he granted clemency to a lot of African American men that were locked up under the bill that our now president, who was his vice president, actually authored. And so just kind of has to show you that I don't think that there's a lot of interest in for you and I and for the people. I mean, this guy comes out and says, to a predominantly African American crowd, and I think he said it. I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, please call me on it. But I won't say that he said this to Charlemagne the God. I want to say he said something like, "Come on, Jack, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black." I mean, this is the guy that talked about not wanting to have his kids raised in a racial jungle, whose son is a recovering crack addict, which that sucks. I mean, I don't wish any of them any ill will. I mean, you don't wish that on somebody. I mean, it's difficult to look at the double standards and the hypocrisy, and it's easy to get wound up and get tenacious about it and get excited and I don't know, angry about it, and just kind of fight with those things right now. Yeah, I got another service I'm going to this morning, and I am, as you can tell, I'm not a fancy lad. I have one sport coat. And after the last funeral, I told my son to throw it in the fire pit in the backyard and burn it, and I wasn't going to any more funerals. And a gentleman that passed away, that was a pretty influential part of my life, passed away. And his son and I go back well over 30 years. And we've been friends for a long time. And, his dad did a lot for me. He helped me out a lot when I came out of prison. When all I had was some business cards and a bucket of paintbrushes. He would always recommend me for jobs. Every time I go in to Sherwin-Williams and see him, we'd sit there and talk to his bullshit, and he was kind of one of those guys. He might be a little dry, but he had that sense of humor that was, kind of cutting, kind of like, snarky as hell if you knew what he was saying, But anyway, his grandson played ball with my kid, and, always ended up out there on the fence, barking empires and talking shit, and he's going to be missed, And so I started thinking about, what we're doing with this life, And I start wondering about people. I know there's a lot of you out there that are very happy with what you're doing, and I know that there's a lot of you that aren't. And I know that just in the month of August alone, 4.3 million people quit their jobs. And we kind of, I think that most of us, now I'm 45, so I'm an old man now. I don't look at myself as such. I mean, but I am. I know my kid does, and I'm not cool. I don't even know if I look cool. I don't even know what cool is, whatever. I'm just me. But I don't know. I just started thinking about it. We do not have time here. We don't have a big long period. It's not going to last forever for any of us. None of us. It's not going to last forever. And it could end on any day. I mean, if I was to venture a guess, I would say that the day of the week that people probably suffer heart attacks or panic attacks or any kind of detrimental thing to do with physical or mental health, I'd be willing to bet that it's on a Monday morning. I would think. Because I think that I don't have percentages in front of me or anything like that, but I'd be willing to bet that there's probably at least 75%. I think I might be shooting low, but I'd say 75% of people in this country just despise their job. And they think it's bullshit, and they just go through the motion because they got to pay the fucking bills. They got to pay you got to pay the mortgage, you got to pay your insurance, you got to pay your car payment, you got to pay your utilities, you got to pay your credit card bills, food. It's all about putting yourself through something that makes you fucking miserable in order to pay money that doesn't even exist. It's not even money that you're making out there. It's currency, okay? So there's a difference right there. Right? You got currency and you got money, okay? In my mind, gold and silver, things of that nature, That's money. You know, this bullshit that we walk around with, right? I mean, let's see. This way, I would like carrying 50s. I don't like hundreds. I like 50s. I mean, what's that worth? Not much anymore. What's that going to give me at the store? I mean, what's a whole pile of them going to give me at the store, you know? I mean, happiness? No. This is bullshit. This is garbage, you know, and the inflation keeps growing. And all these amenities and supplies that we all need and want and wish for are all floating around out there in the ocean right now. They're not getting delivered to us. The prices of them are going up and up and up and up. I keep getting job offers for ridiculous amounts of money. And I keep turning them down. Why? Because I don't want it. That's not what I want for life. I mean, that's why I started doing this. Because something makes me happy. And I like it. And I like talking to people. I like, you know, the whole... Sorry about that. I mean, I like ideas. I'm exploring them. I might not be an intelligent man. You know, I mean, I've basically spent my life either pound nails or paint shit or lifting, you know, doing heavy lifting, and it's beat me up. And the camaraderie, brotherhood, you know, I mean, there's been a lot of brotherhood there, with, you know, with work and the type of jobs I've done. I mean, even when I was in college, I was waking up early every morning, I was doing construction, you know. And I really never even saw myself as doing anything else. I just went to college because I wanted to play baseball, and I just wanted to keep one ball with a stick. And I don't know what that proved. I don't know what, you know, I'm a huge sports fan at this point in time. I haven't watched a sporting event in 3 years. I just kind of tried to focus my time and energy on doing things to better myself. And not better myself in the eyes of anybody else, but better myself in the eyes of myself. And, you know, try to take a look at the people that have influenced me in a positive light. And I call them my stars. And that's why I've been tattooing myself with some stars. I've got 83 of them written down. And I just put one on my arm a minute ago for the friend that we're going to put to rest this morning. You know, and you know, phone don't pay anymore, you know. I mean, you die, we all die. And it's a scary thing. And we're all terrified of it. A lot of us are so terrified of it that we fail to live. You know, and that's the sad thing. To be so scared of something that you don't go after what you put here to do, that you don't do the things that you were meant to do, that you settle for mediocrity because you're scared, because what happens if you fail? What happens if you can't pay those bills, pay those bankers that make this money up? I mean, what happens, you know? And I think that keeps people stuck in these constant, just, you know, rotating, this menagerie of misery, because people are too scared to go out there and be who they're supposed to be. And I think that's happened with this COVID. I think that the reason that a lot of people are quitting their jobs and not going back is because they realized how much their life they really wasted. They've seen people dying, you know, and lost people, been through hell, lost businesses, lost everything. And I think that people realize that what they thought was everything isn't everything. And that the 9 to 5, the shitty cheese job, the commute to sit in fucking traffic, you know, for 2 hours each way. And I remember doing that when I lived down on the West Coast, you know what I mean? Driving along, look over, you know, I don't smoke weed or that shit anymore. I used to. I don't know. I smoke cigarette. I remember I used to just sit there. And I would get in, you know, in Seattle traffic, especially. I always just run the right lane because everybody wants to merge on it. They would try to go that left lane. Like they thought that by getting out there, they were going to get around everybody. But what they did was they caused a huge jam. I sit there in the right lane and just cruise. And I sit there and you know, I mean, hopefully there was no statutes of limitations on this. This was years and years. It's 20 years ago. But I sit there smoking joint, and I'd watch guys just sit there and just pounding on the steering wheels, yelling at other drivers, honking, screaming, just, I mean, you know, two fists, just bam, beating them. And I sit there and laugh, you know. Sometimes I'd have to sit back there too. Sometimes I'd get in traffic so long I'd have to piss in the goddamn jacket box cup or something. But I just sit there and laugh, you know, like, what is, you know, it's like, God, you're that mad. But then I got to the point, I was like, this is just stupid. You look at all those people, and it's just little ants, you know, it's like an ant farm. And people crawling over one another and just miserable. Then you walk down the street and you see the guy who's scared for change. And he's sitting there where he's got a beat up old guitar with the case open, and people are checking quarters, and he's got a smile on his face. He doesn't know where he's sleeping that night. It's cold, it's hungry. He's playing a song and smiling. And you're watching the guy with the, you know, the three-piece suit walk by and shaking his head to do, like, you know, looking down on him, you know. That dude's on the corner. I mean, he's, you know, I mean, he's happy, you know. I'm the guy that's got the, you know, the driving around in whatever it is, the Porsche or the, you know, the Maserati or whatever it is that he's paying $3,000 a month to park, you know. Having to keep up all these images and appearances and you know, spend, I mean, you know, there's so many people that I think that they have legitimate friendships, right? Especially, and I empathize with people. Actually, I told a certain individual out here, and I'm not going to say any names, but everybody knows Cody Boyle, and there's only been like one celebrity out here recently. And I worked for him for a while, and told him one night that I don't envy you, man. Look at me like, you know, nobody ever said that, but I don't. He's got so much that he's got to take care of that he can't be, you know, he has a hard time being him. And you know, I think with a large amount of wealth comes, almost like send your soul. And so it sucks that all this shit just revolves around money. I mean, it's really sad. And I think that the people that have the most of it, the most money, I think are most miserable because they don't have real relationships. They have people in their lives that are there because they have something to offer them, and the people in their lives are there trying to get hold of what they have because those people are trying to leech and hang on and whatever by the coattails. They think that through that money that they're going to gain happiness, but they don't also stop and take the time to look and see that the person that rolling fat with deep pockets is miserable. I don't know how many guys that seem like that. That you look at me and go, man, if I had all that, I'd be happy. I'd be cool. I'd be good. If I had that fucking money, I don't know. I think everybody likes to think that, but I think that the reality is that if you happen to fall in that category, that's everything. I don't think it fixes who you are as a person. I don't think it fixes anything. And it's also unfortunate that you've got people in poverty and that you've got children starving and people on the street that are homeless. I don't know what the balance is. I'm not tending to have all the answers here because I don't have all the answers. I'm just, I guess, posing questions, maybe starting discussions. Maybe just things to think about. I mean, I'm pretty happy with where I'm at right now. I mean, I put a lot on the line to do this podcast, do what I'm doing. And a lot of people think I'm crazy, because I ditched, I mean, I can go back if I want to, but I ditched, a lot of money that I was making, but I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy with it. It was just more hassle than it was worth. And I'm still fine. I mean, if I need to do stuff to make some bucks here, I can do it, I just don't know how long the bucks are going to be even worth anything. And at that point in time, it's time to start trading, which I would not do anyhow. But anyway, back to the whole thing about the president and just wasting all his time on this shit. It's like, what do we do? I mean, what do we do? I think the way through it all is the way out. That's how the shit think about, but I mean, really it is. The way through this life is the way out. And the way out is what we're going to be doing for our friend this morning. And that's always tough for all those of us that are left here. Because he's done with it. He got out. We're all going to get out at some point. Gotta go through, get out. That's a gas concept, isn't it? It's like you sit there and kind of wonder what the hell is this all about. You think about them, I'm not going to argue. In scientific shit, they say 3.5 to 5 billion years. The Earth has been around. I don't know. I wasn't here then, so I'm not going to argue over another. We're lucky if we live to 80. I mean, and look where, if you live to 100, then that's exemplary. This country was started in 1776. I was born in 1976. I was a bicentennial baby, right? I'm 45, so that's 245 years. So that's 3 people. Joe Rogan makes that reference in one of his stand-up bits. 3 people. They got it figured out. Not by a damn sight. And I think we're starting to realize that right now. And I think maybe we need to, reflect on things a little bit more, care about each other a little bit more. Start. There's plenty for all of us, I guess is what I'm saying. I don't understand this concept of just stockpiling all this money and wealth, and I shouldn't even say money because most of it's just currency that can go away in a day now. And it's, it's difficult for a lot of people to think about the concept of money versus currency. But, when you go in with your 20 grand or whatever to put down on a down payment on a home, if you can even get a home with a down payment of a grade anymore, right now property prices are through the roof, and it's just crazy. And then the whole idea of property is, to me, it's just kind of, it's like, what the hell? It's like, this piece of land, this chip where I'm sitting right here, has been here for a lot longer than me. And I have the audacity to sit here and say, this is mine. But like I said, I'm 45 years old. I've lived a rough one. I've been through a lot of shit. I've battled all sorts of demons in my life. I smoked cigarettes for a lot of years. I drank way too much. I did drugs. I was pretty hard on myself, And those things are going to take their toll. And that's fine. It's fine. I'm okay with it. A lot of people aren't. A lot of people are just so scared of that. They're too scared to live because they're too afraid of death. And you got religion, that's fine. If that works for you, that's cool. But me, it seems like a lot of that is just it's corruptionally on. You always hear that, well, what if you're wrong? I'm not saying I'm an atheist. I'm not saying I'm agnostic. I'm a pagan. Bottom line, And I don't even get into what that all means because it's nobody's business except mine. But I don't know. Just looking at a lot of stuff, we got a little cookie gnome. He's lying about all this. We're talking about sticking jabs in kids' arms, I was just thinking about states and their functionality, right? Like these boundaries that we have around states. Like we really need, like, to my counting, there's like 40 major urban hubs in this country. We got like regions. I'd say we have the West, the Inland West, the Great Plains, the Midwest, the Atlantic Northeast, the South, probably the Southwest. And I'm thinking about state boundaries and what an obstacle those are. Because you look at, like, okay, I live in northern Wyoming, right? So, and as I said, I don't smoke pot, but a lot of people do. So if we go 37 miles north of where I'm sitting right now, you can buy it. Well, I don't know. I think it's going to be this next year. Maybe they already did it. I don't know. There's going to be recreational marijuana available in Montana. And I drive 5.5 hours south of here to hit the Colorado border. And we can go right to the border and I can go buy a plant. It's a plant, for fuck's sake. But if I come over the border with that into Wyoming, then, all of a sudden I'm, back in the same type of situation that I put myself in prior to this, everything. So, and it's just an imaginary line, And it's crazy because, I mean, in Wyoming, we like to, talk about stand our business and, freedom. Wyoming is one of the least free states in the union. The one that I'm really curious about is New Hampshire. And I don't know if anybody's looked at the state project in New Hampshire that's going on. I mean, they concentrated a lot of libertarians there. These people they're running for school boards, they're running for city councils, they're running for mayor, they're going there and kind of turning it up on its head. And that's a pretty cool deal, I think. Because I think that's, I mean, I was just thinking about the concept of states, we've got these fake lines. I mean, it's almost like the line between here and, I mean, we basically stole Mexico, we stole Texas and Arizona and California and New Mexico, and then, we've got, a big reason that cartels exist is because of these draconian drug laws. I mean, if there wasn't a demand for a supply of legal drugs, and the fentanyl is just getting it's out of control. I mean, initially that was something that was coming over from China, and then, they had a pipeline coming up from Mexico with the cartels coming up. I mean, it's made its way all over to Wyoming. We're about as remote as you can get. And I mean, the grains of that shit when you're dead. I mean, if drugs have been legalized, then I don't think fentanyl would ever go out. It's cheap. And you see these guys down there that work for cartels. I was wanting to do advice with them, and they're now they're in these fields full of cattle, and they've got these big pots that are just on, they're just wood fires, big huge wood piles, and they're out there, and these guys are watching the wind constantly because of that shit blows up in their face. They keep going, and they're just out there just paddling this crap up, They wait for it to kind of cool off, and they dump it in these packages, and they send it with whoever across the border. When it comes to our kids and addicts and everything else, and it's telling people something, but we don't care about that. But God, we don't give a shit about that. You've got these, this humanitarian crisis going on the southern border, and it's.